Hey YouTube, I'm here again to do another response on just big events going on all around. But this time it's about the shooting slash stabbings in Santa Barbara. Not necessarily about what happened, but about how once again another event is trying to be coerced and used to promote an agenda. Um, this time there are two movements that are really trying to latch onto this one. The gun grabber movement and the feminist movement. And the gun grabber movement is kind of expected, but the feminist movement is a complete surprise. First, I'll just cover the gun grabber movement. Um, the gun grabber movement is trying to say, as they always do, time to take away all the guns because one person shot three people. But three rich people. I mean, there's crime with illegal guns all the time, and in the cities where guns are illegal. But, anyways, here's my thing on that. There are 88 guns for every 100 people in this country, and 40% of American citizens are gun owners. So it would be extremely difficult to take away guns from 40% of the American people, and then on top of that, leave, it's like that's doing two things. First, that's taking away guns from law-abiding citizens, not criminals. And then second, that you're not actually in favor of guns being taken away. You're in favor of guns being left in the hands of the government or the police. And I'm not very trustworthy of government, considering what America has done to Native Americans and Chinese in the 1800s and Japanese during World War II, put them in internment camps. But also using history as an example, Adolf Hitler, first thing he did before he wanted to wage his war against the Jewish people was take the guns away. And Joseph Stalin, what he did, and then Mao, and then again in Vietnam. It just, history once shows again and again that government does not like guns in the hands of the people, because the idea of self-protection, the idea of we can protect ourselves from criminals. And every time there's a shooting, everyone blames the gun, but the one thing every mass shooting has in common, other than there being a gun, is mental health. So what I do agree with is someone who has Asperger's should never have been able to buy a gun. So I support background checks that extend into mental health. And I support the idea that no one who is mentally deranged should ever be able to buy a gun. So I do support that effort of having a background check and preventing someone who has Asperger's to get a gun. So to wrap that up and get right into what I'm more surprised about is the feminist movement. The feminist movement is trying to use this event as for their agenda, promoting the idea with their idea with this hashtag movement, yes, all women. And this hashtag movement is trying to show and trying to use this man as an example as every man. But this man just killed 6 people. He obviously is not sane, obviously not normal. And the feminist movement is trying to explain that, yes, see what happens when you over-sexualize women. Men think that that women owe them sex, and because this man thought he was owed sex and didn't get it, he decided to go and shoot people. It was completely bonkers and deranged. Obviously, there are men out there who are twisted, and there are men out there that are not normal. I mean, there are women out there who are not normal. And there can be things that are done to improve the quality of life of both genders. Um, but this man is not to be used as an example of all men. To also touch on that more, women think that this man talking about um, you get what you deserve by not giving me affection is him talking about, sex. Um, I mean, maybe it could be, I don't know who he is, but from my perspective, there is something that people get confused about when they talk about when the nice guys who don't get women. Those men are not upset about women not giving them sex. They're upset that there are women out there that they have feelings for who don't who aren't honest with them and try and get free dates and get nice treatment or get an audience to because the guy has feelings for her, therefore he can take advantage of them. Karen Strong was telling a story about a coworker of hers who had a friend who had feelings for her, and this coworker, uh, he came in to see her at work, and this coworker said, "Oh, I need help with work that I'm getting paid for. Could you do this for me?" And this guy who had feelings for her was like, "Yes, I'll help you out," because he loved her. So he helped her out, and then while he was helping her out, she whispered to Karen Strong, um, "He's totally my bitch." Thank goodness that man overheard because he realized his mistake. Very often, people don't. I mean, that being said, none of this justifies anyone killing anyone. I'm just saying that women will generally identify the nice guy thing as, oh, because he's nice to me, he owes me sex. No, he deserves honesty. He deserves the truth. If you're not into him, tell him. Don't tell him. And here's the other thing too. Like, women also generally, and the feminist movement, try and label all men as being just after sex. That's not the case. I mean, both genders have two different kinds of things they pursue. We all pursue sex because that is something that is essential for survival. Men and women pursue sex in different ways. The men example is we desire it and therefore we want it. Women example wise, say women gets to be in her early to mid 30s, might feel like her eggs are drying up. Okay, I need a baby, I need it now. That's very little difference in that same section for both genders. The other thing we both desire is companionship. And I think, just judging by how desperate and alone this insane man was, he is more disturbed because he doesn't have companionship. He doesn't have people who really feels like cared about him. Um, and just to wrap up this whole thing, to keep it within 10 minutes, about the feminist movement is kind of out of bounds here by trying to label all like this whole thing as because of gender issues. It's not. It's because of mental health. It's because of someone was mentally deranged, and the police even came to his house and talked to him about it, and he should never have been able to own a gun, and he should have gotten the help he needed. And as far as the gun grabbers, it's the same thing. Sandy Hook again. It's just ridiculous how one shoot. Well, okay. this might be a bit extreme, but this guy, half the victims in this case were stabbed. This guy stabbed 3 people and then shot 3 people and then shot himself. But what, we're going to ban knives now? I mean, no one's talking about the stabbing. They're only talking about the shooting. Yes, shootings are terrible. But it's law-abiding citizens versus criminals here in this case. Let's take law-abiding citizens for example. Areas with high gun ownership have low crime generally. A lot of, like Austin and Dallas, have very high gun ownership, very low crime. And even gun crime for that matter. Areas with very low gun ownership and very strict gun laws, like Chicago, and let's just say Chicago, have very high murder rates. Chicago has more murders every year than soldiers dying in Iraq and Afghanistan, even at the peak of the war. So when these things generally happen, it becomes very emotional. People are very hurt. But it's a mental health issue. This man had Asperger's. He should never have been able to own a gun. My solution is there should be stricter background checks. If someone is in therapy, I'm not saying they shouldn't own a gun, but it should be up to the doctor that they're working with whether or not they should be able to own a gun. I mean, nothing wrong with therapy. Therapy helps a lot of people. A lot of people go through therapy. So just being in therapy should not exclude you from owning a gun, but it should build a wall up on your ability to own a gun. And it should go to your doctor. If the doctor says no, you're not getting a gun. The doctor says yes, you are getting a gun. I mean, that's that. It's just that simple. It should be that simple, but it's not. This is a very complicated issue that literally has nothing to do with gender issues. It's just a man who is deranged. And you know what every murder has in common? Or not every murder. Like the majority of murders happen because someone is mentally unstable. That is that. And lesson to women out there. I mean, right now the hashtag yes all women thing, what they're trying to say is, women should be honest about their feelings. Yes, this is true. Women should be honest about their feelings. Even further, this stupid thing that says there's an expectation, that expectation isn't there. There is no expectation. Maybe it's a want or desire, but don't go home with someone, period, that you don't know. Don't go to a bar, find a guy, go home with him, or don't go hitchhiking and get picked up by a guy, and then don't do any of that stupid stuff. Don't even have any expectations of, oh, it's the third date. You know what that means? No, none of that. Because anyone who tells you, oh, it's that third date, how about some of that, is absolutely wrong in their thinking. Honestly, you shouldn't have sex until you're in love. And that's my personal opinion. But don't think that there is an expectation, because it is. If it's there, it's only there from asshole guys telling you, because not all guys are assholes, but some guys are assholes. Just like not all girls are bitches, but some girls are bitches. We should not judge all girls off of the bitches. We should judge all girls off of the general girl. So, closing thing. I said it before, I'll say it again to officially close it. This is a mental health problem, not a gun problem, and not a gender problem. Not hashtag yes all women. Hashtag tragedy. Hashtag mental health. I don't know. Hashtag something. Anyways, that's it for me. Thanks again, guys.